Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. So what are we doing today? We are going to be doing the Summon Rush, right, for Pythion. But there's a little bit of a wrinkle here, alright? And as usual, you really want to ignore the left side of the screen for this kind of stuff. I mean, yes, if you pull Sacred Shards, you might get one of the 10x legendaries, and that has happened to me before. It's very rare though. It's very, very, very rare. Probably like once or twice, maybe 3 times the most in 3 years of playing. So, you know, not something I would bank on, but of course you could factor that into your decision. No big deal. But really, I think the superstar here is Maneater, right? So if you are on the market for a Maneater, this would be a good time to try to pull Voids, right? A good way to kind of like, you can also mix up your Sacreds and Voids to get to the points levels that you need. If you follow my advice, you should have done the full champ chase, right? And then just get the first 5 fragments here. That's the pattern for every fragment fusion we've had so far since 2022. They changed how the summon events worked for the fusion events, right? But now there is an extra wrinkle. And the extra wrinkle is this guaranteed champ at 40. Right? So is this epic worth 40 void shards? So, you know, we've had Madame Ceres, I think, at 25 void shards, and I think we had Godseeker and Eerie, Inquisitor Shamel, I think they were like at 30 void shards or something like that. So definitely not as good, right? So Akemtum, whatever this cat's name is. Oh, it's a Skinwalker. Okay, Skinwalkers always need more people. So let's see what this guy does. So this guy is a triple hitter with poison. 40% chance of poison for 2 turns each hit. Okay, cool. Target is under Hex. Each hit also has a 40% chance of applying a debuff spread. Alright. 1 random debuff from the target placing on all enemies. That's pretty strong. Goes up to 50%, 55% with Sniper. That's actually really, really good. And then it is an attack all enemy. Each hit has a 60% chance of increasing duration of any Hex. If enemies are not under Hex, then each hit has a 60% chance of placing Hex for 2 turns. Books down to a 3-turn cooldown. So it's a Hex champ, AoE, and then with a debuff spread on the A1. That's actually really strong. So this guy is probably Void Affinity as well. So you won't get the positive affinity of, you know, of other champs soloing dragons or whatever. But this champ looks like this guy can solo dragons. Don't know about anywhere else. Maybe Fire Knight, maybe Ice Golem. I mean, but you know, it's an attack type champ, so getting that damage mitigation on an attack type champ for a Ice Golem solo run, a little bit hard to do, right? And then Hex Blood, 80% chance of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to enemies under Hex debuff when their allies receive damage from the poison debuff, and this goes up to 100% chance with no cooldown. So if I'm not mistaken, they've already done testing on this with Hydra, so that would be the one practical place where you can think like this would do a lot of damage. Problem is, against Hydra, poisons don't really do much in general, and you get a Speed Aura all battles. Nice, all battle Speed Aura 18%. That's actually pretty sick for a champ like this, especially if you think about him being a solo champ for dragons. Okay, so solo champ for dragons, sure, definitely has a lot of application everywhere else, like clan boss. Actually, for clan boss, you might think about just locking out the Hex in general. I mean, unless you really want Hex on the clan boss, you know, on the Demon Lord clan boss, right? But I think there is a pretty good argument here to kind of lock that out and just go for the triple hitter here and just put a bunch of poisons. Wow, so yeah, it's a pretty good champ. Not worth 40 in my opinion, but I don't really need a second Maneater, although there are there are some kind of like conveniences that would grant me if I do get a second man-eater. So that is something I'm thinking about, honestly. So I might actually just go for the man-eater right here. And then if I get anything in excess of that, well then, I guess that's just a freebie, right? So I'm gonna gamble for the man-eater, obviously. If I get I'm gonna go for the guaranteed epic. I mean, I'm already pulling voids, why not? And I do have some voids. So the main risk for me would be if they put out a guaranteed void legendary that is as good as Riho Bone Spear. I think was the best guaranteed void legendary they've done so far. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think she is the best one they've done so far. If they do something like Riho in the next month or two, I most likely won't be able to get it, especially since they're not going to ask for 90 voids like they did for Riho. They're going to ask for a lot more, like 120, maybe even 130. So, like, Plarium is in this mode where they've figured out guaranteed champs are amazing value. And how do they respond? Obviously, by making it less of a great value, right? So it's a lot less of a great value these days. I mean, with the shard increase, the cost increase, right? So that's what they do. It's okay though. Okay, so a lot of people are upset about this, the 4,925 for these 15 fragments, but technically you don't need to do that. You're only going up to 2,150 if you maxed out the champ chase. That would have given you 2,500 for champ chase, 2,150 for summon rush, so that would be roughly 4,650 points, which is, I think, very reasonable for Pythion, who is a very strong fusion champ. Actually, now that I've been looking at my account a little bit, it feels like Pythion will have a place in my Hydra team. I mean, I've been kind of lagging on making a good Hydra team anyway, and I do have a lot of good champs already, so Python might actually make the shortlist on that team, so we'll see. But here we go. So I'm gonna do some voids. We'll do 40. I want to get that'll bring me down to 68. I mean, it sucks I'll be out of range for the next guaranteed void legendary event, but I think I can live with that. Oh, shoot, I got a legendary. Who is it? Oh my god. It's the guaranteed champ from the last guaranteed void event, right? Isn't this the guy? Oh, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Tax one enemy, steal all buffs. Steal buff. What? This is the guy, right? Ignore all the buffs and removes increased death, decreased death, block buffs. And then I think this is the one with the 2,000 and HP by 2,000, def 100 for every 1,000 attack. I'm kind of confused. Is this the champ that they offered up for the guaranteed champ event? I like vaguely remember that it was this guy, A Lil. Steals all buffs from the target. The first time this champion hits them with a skill, this effect cannot be resisted. Each subsequent time this attack hits an enemy, no buffs will be stolen. Instead, the damage will be increased by 10% for each buff on the target. So weird, man. So weird. Anyways, I'm not sure about this guy. He may be good. I haven't really kind of like thought about it. So this is an AoE. AoE is pretty good. Block buffs is pretty good. Decreased defense, weaken, all those are good. So what does it do? Before attacking, it removes increased def and then replaces it with decreased def. Also removes strengthen and replaces it with weaken. So they have to have strengthen and increased def for that to work. And then you put a block buff. The buff removal and debuff placement cannot be resisted. So they're doing something right here, which is create a arena type champ that doesn't need accuracy. So that's really good, right there. So the only way they can do that is with something like block debuffs, which this coincidentally doesn't remove. The A1 will remove the block debuffs, right? So it still gives a little bit of play. It's not like an overpowered thing where you just click on a skill and boom, all your buffs are gone. Now you have decreased def and weaken, and then it's a sweep, right? So I feel like this might have potential, but you know, damn. Okay, well then we gotta do 3 more anyways. So let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't even check if I got a man-eater there. My God, that Lego threw me off. So that would be what, my 3rd void Lego maybe? What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? And this is the problem with pulling outside of 2x for your void shards. You really can't go 10 deep without pulling an epic. So if you are trying to YOLO for a man-eater, I would suggest keeping your cap extremely low, like 1, 2, maybe 3 the most void shards, right? I wouldn't pull anything past those, regardless of what I get. Ideally, you pull an epic and then you stop, right? That's kind of the goal. So this is like what, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, here we go. And I got the man-eater. All right, cool. So, I need to do one. Do I need to do one more? I think I need to do one more. Yeah. All right, so I got the man-eater. Now I'm gonna get that guaranteed epic, and I'll be at 68 voids. You know, it's pretty good. I'll take it. And what do we get? So 40 voids. I got a man-eater. I got a Eurogrim. It's pretty nice. Exemplar. You know, still bad. Exemplar still bad. I mean, hopefully they'll give her a buff at some point. And then here's my guaranteed dude, Akemtum. All right, so how are we doing with a summon rush for that? So that would be, I think 10 is 700 points, right? Per 10 pull? No, it's it's 1200 points per 10 pulls. So I did 1200 points, so that should bring me to 4800. So I should be, there we go, 125 points away from getting that, and 500 points away from getting a legendary book. So I'm most likely going to open mystery shards to get my free legendary book in my case, which is fine. It's great. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy. I'm actually pretty happy with what I got. Did get a legendary, which is, you know, not really the one that'll help my account or whatever right now, but you know, it seems like for an end game player anyway, after you've done Hard Doom Tower, really the only thing left to do is Arena, you know. So, and Arena is kind of like gate kept for free to play players and low spenders, just because it's a very gear intensive type thing, and you know, you're not going to compete against people that run farming runs 24/7, like literally 24/7, right? So you're never going to compete with those people, but you know, I think that's where Raid has an opportunity right there. So if they can figure out a way to create some kind of cap where it's strategic and you can put together a team, you know, that would be something to look forward to. But then again, whenever you don't see something, like this is kind of like a golden rule for anything and everything. We're trying to analyze actions of people and their intentions are not 100% clear. This is what you do. Look at what they do, not what they say. So they said it's going to be the season of Arena, season of PvP. Where's the PvP stuff? You haven't seen it. So really, look at what they do, right? So what are they doing? They're giving us dungeon content, right? So that's kind of like the big releases that they've given, Iron Twins, dungeon content. And then they've been giving us lots of fusion events. They've nerfed guaranteed champs. So where is the direction of the game going? They see people really liking PvE over PvP. I think that's kind of like the bottom line of this whole thing. And it's pretty obvious to me. It's the same way I predicted Battle Pass 2 was not going to happen, right? Because Battle Pass 1 didn't make the money. And I think it kind of did come out that Battle Pass 1 did not make them as much money as we thought it did, you know, because it was like at the time the best deal Raid has ever put out, like the first Battle Pass. So if you ever wanted to kind of like take a stroll down memory lane, or if you just started Raid and you wanted to see quote unquote the best value that Plarium has ever offered in game for the money, that would be Battle Pass 1. So the first Battle Pass. Actually, why would we call it Battle Pass 1 when it was the only Battle Pass? So I'm going to say the only Battle Pass, or Battle Pass. Anyways, that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the pulls. Oh, let's take a look. Let's take a look at where I'm at the fragment events. So that actually allows me to skip some events. So I'm at 75, and then I'm gonna get the 15 there. That'll put me in 90. So I just need 2 more events. Might just do the dungeon divers and then maybe 1 more tournament or something. We'll see what happens, but yeah, allows me to skip some of the events, which is good for me because, you know, I'm playing it more on like auto mode these days. I don't really put that much time in it anymore. All my best stuff is on Reddit. I'm gonna figure out a way to kind of like turn that into some kind of compendium where it's easier for people to access or whatever. But yeah, as of right now, if you want to learn how to play the game, and if you're an absolute freaking noob, or you're kind of in a mid game, you don't know where to go, definitely check out my stuff on Reddit, u/wsoul13 at Reddit, right? So I'll see y'all there. Bye bye.